Hey, what's up everybody? It's Brian Dean from QuickSprout. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to take advantage of one of the most powerful link building strategies on the planet. Resource page link building. So your first step with resource page link building is to find resource pages, obviously. And it's actually very easy. They tend to have a pretty identifiable footprint. And the search string that I like to use, that in my experience gives you the most results without a lot of false positives, is this one right here. Keyword in quotes plus in URL colon links. And all that does is it finds pages related to cooking, okay? But it limits it to pages that have the word links in the URL. And unless this topic is about SEO, most people who write cooking articles or cooking pages are not going to be talking about links, right? So when they have that in the URL, it means generally that it's a list of links, which means it's a resource page. So let's take a look at one to show you what I mean. This one right here is from discusscooking.com, and of course it has links in the URL. Now when you're looking down the list of the resource pages that you find, you may want to be a bit picky about who you reach out to. So one way I like to separate the wheat from the chaff is to look at the page authority of each page. Now generally when I'm link prospecting, I pay more attention to things like homepage, PageRank, and domain authority. But because these are resource pages and we're going to be getting our links on that particular page, it's more important to pay attention to page authority. So as you go down the list, if you see a page authority, let's say 10 or 5 or even 17, it may not be worth reaching out to them. But that depends on how much resources you have for this particular link building strategy. The first one to look at is actually the first result on the list, which is from terryskitchen.com. And as you can see, it's a link to cooking resources, right? It has some links to some home pages and some food related sites. Now generally in my experience, it's rare to see a resource page that links out to a lot of home pages, or if they do link out to home pages, they tend to be big brands. In my experience, it's better to try to pitch them a piece of content that's on your site rather than your site in general. Although you can always try that, and in this case, this person does link to a lot of home pages, so it might be worth trying to pitch your home page. And that's part of the, one of the secrets of doing well with resource page link building is paying attention to how that webmaster tends to link out. If they tend to link to commercial sites or less commercial sites or big pieces of content or helpful curated lists. It's good to take a look before you reach out to them. And in this case, I would reach out to them with my homepage. And actually, to show you how easy resource page link building is, and one of the reasons I love it, is that people generally ask you to suggest resources for them. And in this case, that's exactly what happens. If you know of a site that you'd like to have included, email me at terry@terryskitchen.com. So unlike most people, you have to lie, cheat, beg, and steal for a link. This person's actually asking you to make a suggestion. And that's the great thing about resource pages, is that they exist for the sole purpose of linking out to other sites. So you don't have to do a lot of convincing, okay? Does that make sense? You don't have to do a lot of convincing. It's just basically the more resources they have on the page, the more valuable it is. So it makes sense for you to reach out to them and offer a great piece of content. You don't have to really twist their arm. As in another example, here's another one that you might see, which is more of a specific. It's barbecue and cooking links. So if you are going through your list and you notice there are a lot of barbecue related links, you may want to create a barbecue related resource on your site. If your site's more about general cooking, so you create a tutorial about how to cook a steak or how to marinate ribs or something like that, and then you'd reach out to this person and say, hey, I have a great barbecue related link, would you mind adding it? And a lot of times they will say yes. Here's another searching that I like to use, which is the keyword in quotes again, plus useful resources. And the reason I like this is just because it brings up a totally different set of results. And in this case, it's a totally different set of results, including some authoritative sites. This is Michael Pollan's website. It's a domain authority 82. The seniors.gov.au is a domain authority 68. So these are a lot of powerful sites that would be great to get a link on. And it's the same process. You go one by one through them and see which piece of content you have on your site would be a good fit. And if it's not there and you see a lot of resource pages linking out to a certain type of content, recreate that content, create something great, and then you can, you're more likely to have your link added to the page. Now, if you want to limit your results to really authoritative trusted sites, I recommend trying this operator here, which is site:.edu, and then you put in your keyword links or keyword resources or something like that, and that'll also bring up a totally different set of results and a lot of results. And that's one of the great things about resource page link building, is that you could literally spend all day doing this and you would get tons of links. I love resource page link building. So for example, I didn't show you this before, but this particular search string, it got 543,000 results. Now obviously a lot of those are going to be duplicate results, they're going to be junk results, they're going to be unrelated. But let's just say half of them are relevant and you get a 2% conversion rate. That's hundreds of targeted links on authority pages all over your site. You'll get some links to some pieces of content, some to your home page, and it just looks very natural. So you can do the same thing for just limit your results to edu sites, and sure enough, here's one that I found in the first set of results. And it's Principles of Healthy Cooking Web Links. This looks like it accompanied some sort of course at this college. And just like any resource page, it's a link out to other sites, okay? But there's a little bit of a wrinkle when you use this operator for edu sites, or if you find big authority sites. And that wrinkle is that not everyone's like Terry, where they say, hey, I'm Terry, email me a suggestion, right? They're run by several different people. Major authority sites have huge staff, so it's hard to find the right person who's responsible for this particular page, because that's who you want to reach out to. One trick I like to do is to look at the URL of the page, and that usually gives me a clue of who I should get in contact with. In this case, it's at the library, okay? And the librarian or the webmaster for the library section is the person you want to reach. The last thing you want to do is reach out to info@monroeecc.edu and just send it to the general email address and hope your link request gets forwarded. It's not likely to happen. So what I like to do is look at the URL. A lot of times it'll say library, or it'll say nutrition or cooking, and you can see the category in the site that it belongs to. And once you know what category it's in, it's just a matter of going to the employee directory here, or searching for the employee directory on Google, or even using LinkedIn, and finding the person that runs this page and reaching out to them with your link request. Another great way to find the responsible person of a resource page on an authority site is to scroll to the bottom. And a lot of times it will have a last updated list and the person who curates the resource page. And that just makes things a lot easier. So for example, this says it's from this person and it was revised a long time ago. Now you do want resource pages that are a little more up to date, because it's not likely that the person who last updated it 4 years ago is going to go in and add your link. But it is possible, and for an authoritative resource page, it's worth it. Also, another value of these older resource pages is that you can take advantage of broken link building, which is something I discuss in another video. Now, if you're somehow short of results, if you're maybe a strange niche that doesn't have a lot of resource pages, here's a trick to find many, many, many more resource pages that you wouldn't be able to find. And you want to put this little tilde in front of the keyword and use the same search strings that you used before, either helpful resources or in URL : links. And what this does is it tells Google, don't just look for cooking related keywords, look for cooking and related keywords. And in this case, it shows us Terry's Kitchen, which we already saw, but it also brings up things like culinary links page, recipes, recipe links, and these are resource pages that we wouldn't have found using that search string. So I like to do that, and as you can see, it brings up a lot more results because you're using a lot of synonyms. So it's 4 million results. Obviously way, way too many to take action on. So this is a good idea to have the Moz bar where you can look at the page authority of each page and be a little more picky about which pages you reach out to. So in summary, resource page link building should be a cornerstone of your link building strategy. Go through the top 50 in your niche and see what they tend to link out to. If you don't have content that you think would be a good fit for the resource page, it's often worth making one just for resource page link building. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.